Welcome to You Can Do It, a Zoomcast powered by Special Olympics Maryland. I'm Nick Stearns, one of your co-hosts. Shout out to Jason, our technical director, Donna, our creative consultant, Terrell, my wonderful co-host, and tonight, let's give a very special warm welcome to a guest co-host filling in for the wonderful Adam Hayes is the wonderful Brandon McLaren. Welcome,
Yay!
Brandon. Thank you so much for being here. Our topic tonight is very artful. We are diving into a fabulous program in Rockville, Maryland. And not only do we have the founder of this program, but we are fortunate enough tonight to have two of the artists. So tonight we're going to start with Elaine Parks, who is in her own right an accomplished artist. She's a potter, a photographer, and a painter. She's also an art therapist. And she started a wonderful program called Visibility Art Lab, which is part of VisArts in Rockville, Maryland. So I'd like to turn this over now to our wonderful guest co-host, Brandon, who has some questions for Elaine about the program. You got the Zoom square, Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I want to ask you, Elaine, some questions. Elaine, where did you get the vision to start the art lab?
Well, I wish I could take credit, Brandon. I was actually a part of the plan as it developed. There were some other artists and people working at VisArts and at Madison House Autism Foundation at that point. And they came together to try and have a place, a studio for adult artists.
Can you walk me through a typical day at the art lab?
Well, I will tell you that our days are just changing again. For the past, just over the past year, we've been working virtually. And so, as you guys know, there was a pandemic. So we've been doing a lot of Zooming. And when we Zoom, we log on like this, and each of our artists creates while we're on the Zoom camera. And we work to talk and socialize while we're working. We share as we're working. And then at the end of each session, we share some more. And we try and help people out as much as we can. And again, it's a little different when we're on Zoom. Typically when we're in the studio, and we're just starting to go back live into the studio. So we're doing what I would call a hybrid model now. So some artists are in the studio and some artists are working on Zoom, and we're working together. And it's the same kind of thing. Everybody's creating their art and sharing as they go, and then at the end.
Sounds fascinating. Now I'd like to turn it over to Terrell for some questions for Faith and Max.
So Faith, can you tell me what you do in your art, Faith?
Yes. We do more of painting and mosaics and pottery and whatever you want. So it's nice that Elaine gives us choices so we could look back at that paper. So she writes the choices down for us. So we need to get that stuff.
So is that your art in the background?
Yes. This is called Wonderful Day. And I choose this art piece because we are in this universe that with all of the people who are in this world.
Yeah.
So all of us needs to have this world that we need to have to live, and that what it shows, you see the stars on the painting?
Oh, yes. I see them. So Max, can you tell me about what you can you tell me what your artwork is all about?
My artwork is very colorful chaos. Sometimes it depicts things that have happened to me. Sometimes it depicts kind of real topics, but through a surrealist lens. It's mainly just weird colors and excuses to make strange drawings, but occasionally there'll be a very big message behind it. Unfortunately, because of how pretty color it is, the message sometimes gets lost.
Okay, is it like a story behind it?
Some of them, yeah. Like, take a look. Like, some of these ones are like that one over there. This is about being neurodivergent and being bipolar and being a person who passes as looking neurodivergent passing, or like they think I got like a normal kind of brain, but like there's always kind of an inner chaos going on, and it's not always bad. Sometimes it's good, but when it's bad, it's crazy. So like things like that sometimes have meanings like that, and a lot of colors usually.
Okay. So you do your work a lot of colors on it, right?
Surprising for how much dark colors I wear.
Awesome. Well, both of you, I mean, I know our Zoomers have lots of questions. I have lots of questions. So we'd like to just jump right in and open this up. I want to encourage all of our Zoomers to ask their very best one question. I know we all have a lot of questions, so let's narrow it down and pick our very best one. And let's go ahead and get started. So feel free, we're going to open this up. You've got two incredibly talented, inspiring artists here. Well, three, actually. And you also have Elaine, who's not only an artist, but runs the lab. So who would like to start off tonight with our questions?
And Nick, we have Derek, Melissa, and then Willie have their hands up.
Awesome. Derek, Melissa, and Willie. So that sounds like a great order. Let's start with Derek, then we'll go Melissa, and then Willie. All right, Derek, you got the Zoom square.
What motivates you to do usually what you do? Do you have like a theme that you guys work on each time around?
No, we choose our own ideas in our main this eagle, and I like to do animals and different medias, and also we choose our subject to work on.
That's great. And that was a great question, Derek. And it really speaks to kind of that self-directed piece in the lab, which is a really cool philosophy that you have there. All right, excellent. Thank you, Derek. Next up, we have Melissa and then Willie.
How long you been a artist to teach group?
I think I've been an artist my whole life, Melissa, but I've been working at VisArts and doing the Visibility Art Lab since its inception, which has been 6 years now. And before that, I did other kinds of art. I was an art therapist, and so it's a lot of different kinds of things.
That was great. Great question, Melissa. Thank you. All right, let's go to Willie. And then I know Daniel has a question. Willie, you got the Zoom square.
Okay, thanks, Nick. All right, so Max, here's my question. Why do you think art is the most important thing in our daily lives?
I like that question. Want to know why? Want to know why I think art is one of the most important things that gets supremely not enough attention? Is because people can't wait till after profits to express themselves, to after political goals to express themselves. We have to be able to tell our truths right now. And the best way we are able to do that is to put them on canvas, to put them on poetry, to put them on music, and to make them accessible to people like you and I. Even though the people who are, more affluent might be the ones purchasing it, it should be shown to everybody. And the best thing is, I seriously would love to hear like the stories of your specific life through your art. Like my stories are totally going to be different than yours, but I want to hear all of what's going on through your artwork. It's real power when you can show that to someone. It's real cool. It's real cool.
Wow, Willie, that was a
Wow,
fantastic
that's
question.
amazing.
And Max, what an extraordinary answer. And both of you really speaking to the heart of the power of art. So let's keep going. What a great conversation we have tonight.
So I made this at VisArts. So
Great. The birches.
That's really cool.
because it is it's very great. And they want to sell this art. To sell it like money to money. So it's kind of a bit fun.
Awesome.
A lot more fun to paint.
Thank you for sharing that, Marty. So I'm going to tag on to that with a question. Can we talk a little bit about, and this is for Elaine, Max, and or Faith, or all three of you. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that your artists are able to sell their art. Can you share a little bit about that aspect of the program?
We do.
Elaine, let me start with you. Yeah, then we can go to
I was going to say, we do a lot of different things for our artists to sell, and it has been a little different this past year because things have been more virtual than live. But we tend to do shows, we do open studios, we have exhibits at the galleries at VisArts. We have gone to different craft fairs and set up our booth, and we submit to different shows. And we also keep some artwork on our website. So all those different things are ways that we try and reach our artwork out and to get people to buy it, to see it and to love it and buy it.
That's awesome. Faith or Max, would you guys like to add anything to that?
We auction off our pieces to sell, and we get money for every artwork that we need to do, so the people will buy it from us online too, I think.
That's really wonderful. Max, anything you'd like to add?
Sure. I really think it's been amazing that VisArts has the opportunity to not only like sell our work, but specifically submit to art shows, get into different kind of professional, no, not even kind of professional looking shows, galleries, even I think it was a museum at one point. It was, and the fact that we're able to use that platform to be like, hey, folks like disabled folks and people who are like at VisArts specifically are able to make their voices heard and have stuff taken seriously, because oftentimes people aren't taken seriously, and having art in a gallery really says something.
It's great. It's a great point. Thank you. Okay, who's next? Raise your hand if you have a question for any number of our artists. I know Danielle's the second question, so hold that thought. I see Sierra's got her hand up. Sierra, you've got the Zoom square.
What inspired you guys to do art?
I was going to say, I find that art is just kind of part of who I am, that it's one of those special things. And I think that's true for most of our artists. That's one of the things that sets them apart from a non-artist.
I sometimes I angry. Sometimes I paint when I'm feeling hopeful about the future, and it fluctuates between the two of being like, oh no, we're doomed, to oh yay, I have hope for the future, and that's usually what the themes are. So that's what I paint about.
Wow.
Faith, how about you?
I do sketches about my family and friends, and it comforts me to have all my family next to me. And Elaine did a good job with VisArts, and we are a family.
That's wonderful. Well, it really shows. We have a couple more questions. David Godoy, Joe Wu, and then Amanda. So David, you've got the Zoom square.
Is there a website to support fundraising for the artists? Like you know, they have a big exhibit coming up, and we can go and donate money to support the artists. What is the website for VisArts to do that?
It is VisArtsCenter.org, and we will have more shows coming. Again, it's been a little bit different this year because of the pandemic, how we've had shows or not. And we're working that we will have more open studio time where people will be able to come actually and see us in our studio and see the artwork.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Do
Tyrone.
you have your own the site for all the pictures and all that?
I am on Behance.com. It's an online portfolio. A bunch of my sketchbooks are up there, and my other stuff is up on Instagram at Max_MAV3 Max Maven. I am still working on the website.
Wow.
Okay, so, and everybody, we'll make sure we'll send out the link again to everybody, but it's visartscenter.org/visibility.gallery. So we'll make sure that goes out to everybody, but it's visartscenter.org-visibility.gallery. And that was a great question, David. Thank you.
A question asked Faye, Nick, I'm telling you right now, First Lady Yumi Hogan is an artist.
Yes. Okay.
I met her.
Faye met her, and we have a very can speak, and we invite Yumi Hogan. She's artist. She draws very pretty art.
Excellent. And good to know, Joe, and good to know for all of us to have
That's
that,
great,
our first
Joe.
lady who's an artist, and having somebody like that, one of those artists in an important role for the state. Thank you, Joe, for reminding us of that. That's wonderful. Amanda, we'd like to circle to you. Thank you for your patience. You have the Zoom square.
How long you guys been doing art?
Okay, how long, Max, Elaine, and Faith, how long have you been doing art?
I've been doing it for 3 years with Elaine and Max and other people too. And the art is part of my life. So I carried it all over the world to have art around different parts of my life. So I could take that art and put it on a canvas, or I could put it on mosaics and stuff.
my whole life. I've been creating and making artwork. I'm screaming into the world, and glad I finally have a plan to do something.
All right, excellent. And I know, Brandon, thank you for your patience. I know you have a question. Brandon, you are up.
Yeah, so this is for Elaine. Well, I guess it's for everyone. But do y'all just do, what kind of arts do y'all do?
Really, if it is art and it's something you can imagine, we have it happening in our studio. And one of the fun things that happens in our studio is kind of like what Faith and Max were talking about. We don't have, like, a lot of classes you go to and they say, everybody's gonna paint this bowl of fruit. But in our studio, everybody comes in and says, I want to do whatever they want to do. So one person could be painting and one person could be using clay and one person could be making a mosaic, and somebody could be using their computer and making a digital picture, or making a paper mache sculpture for a prop for their movie. And we see so many different things every day.
People operate when they leave the.
Oh.
Yeah, that's great. That was a great question, Brandon. And I know, let's see. I know that Daniel was interested also in checking in. Max, do you do anything with Grateful Dead art?
I have a wide variety of rock and roll type artwork. I don't know if I would classify myself as a deadhead, but this is pretty tricky. I got this is a painting I've been working on. That's a temple shocking laser beams out into the ether with the stairway riding down a carousel with some swords and some weird stuff. I don't think that's that wouldn't look out of Dead Grateful Dead doohickey, but that is a pretty good band.
Thank you. And that was a great question, Daniel. I love that. All right. Well, we have time for one last question. Is there anybody who hasn't had a chance? Justin, welcome. I want to hear, Justin, you've got the Zoom square. We've got Max, Faith, and Elaine.
So how do you get involved with these art shows? Like, how do you enter one?
Great question.
Okay, so it's a process of first getting your artist statement. I recommend, like, I love working on the artwork physically, but you got to have an artist statement. Generally, a show will want 3 or 4 good pictures of your artwork. If you can do it with your phone, cool. Otherwise, do it with a photographer. You'd want an artist statement, and some of them might want a resume. I don't think that's as important as the artist statement, because artist statement is just you explaining your work in relation to you. And then it's just a matter of doing some paperwork and seeing what they want. And okay, how much money is it if I have to ship it to this place, or how am I going to transport my artwork, logistics and that fun stuff. It's an exercise in trying to lead yourself. You know, it can be tricky though.
That's great, Max. That's exactly how we work it when you're getting into a show. Now, if you were interested in coming to our program at the Visibility Art Lab, you would give me a call or send me an email and let me know that you were interested. And I would, usually we do interviews where you come and you check it out and we talk about your interest in art. And then we always give people a trial period. So we see if it's really the right program for you or not. And if it is, then you keep coming. And if it's not, we talk about what other kinds of art programs might be a better fit for you. VisArts has some other fabulous art classes also. So if you're looking for an art class that's more structured, they have that also.
Great. That was a great question, Justin. Thank you. So we want to say thank you so much to Elaine and to Max and to Faith. And it was really exciting to sort of hear all about the uniqueness of your program and the opportunity to be able to speak our truth through art and to then share that with others. I think that you're right. That's some really powerful stuff. And so we're excited to see what happens and where you guys go. And I know you've made a lot of new fans tonight and really talked to the artists in each of us. So thank you, all 3 of you, for being here. And Terrell, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Join us next time. Be here or be square. Brendan, go for it.
All right, so y'all had some great questions. Keep them up, and remember to keep it positive.
Awesome. And let's give one round of applause again for our guest host, Brandon. Thank you so much. You
All
did a
right,
great job.
Brandon.
And let's continue our applause for our three wonderful artists, Faith and Max and Elaine, who runs the Visibility Art Lab at VisArts in downtown Rockville. Thank you, everyone, for an incredible show. Be well. And I think it's appropriate to say, may we all have a little art in our life each day. So thank you,
Yes,
everybody. And don't forget, you can catch our show on Fridays at 4:30 on Channel 21, Montgomery County Media. So we'll see everybody next time. And remember, you can do it. Thanks, guys. Be artful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Pete. Bye.